When Moses saw that bush on fire, what was really cool about it was that, like, the fire didn't burn up the bush, it didn't consume it. So it's really, to me, a message about passion, about desires, about the things that we become better for Christ about in our lives. And we see that as we get with Paul in 2 Timothy. I'm in 2 Timothy 3. I'm looking at verses 6 through 9. And Paul starts talking to Timothy about this idea about being weak-willed or strong-willed and desires and passion. In particular, we're talking about some women who have that, although certainly men can also be manipulators in this. And ultimately, both men and women in these situations lead us to never learning, to constantly being what Paul says here in verse 7, right? Ever learning, never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So we end up in this cycle, right? This sort of spinning cycle of not having the will to move beyond what's in front of us. So that causes us to be weak-willed, and that causes us to be able to be manipulated by the men or by women or by whoever's in front of us. And so that's not a good thing. So when we think about weak-willed, when we think about how desire and passion God represents to us as burning but not consuming, then you would think that being strong-willed would be viewed as being something that's real positive. But if I told you that I have a strong-willed little toddler here playing around, would you think that's positive? Or would you think that strong-willed toddler is throwing tantrums, is screaming, is yelling, is standing up for himself? Yeah, because somehow in this world, we take things like passion and desire that we see in Philippians, right? Or we see that talks about in Luke, or that even Jesus talks about passion and desire. And that passion and desire is good because it's the passion and desire to serve Christ, to be better for Christ. That's why we make our beds in the morning. That's why we put a focus on our health. That's why we say hello to people. Christ has a desire in our hearts to be better for him, a desire that is positive. You know, Paul had a desire to go see his friends again. That's a desire for fellowship, positive. And he's not weak-willed. And strong-willed isn't a negative thing, even though in this world somehow we can't be weak or strong-willed, right? Strong-willed means you stand up for what you believe. You say who you are. You set clear boundaries. Because what Paul will tell us in his letters is all of a sudden when you give yourself to Christ, people want all of your time, right? They want you to be their source of inspiration, their words, their leadership, and that doesn't work. Any time in your life that someone wants 100% of your time and they're not leaving anything else for God, we got a problem. We got someone who wants to use you, manipulate you, take your strong will and make it a weak will. People who are secure in themselves, people who are secure in your relationship with you and with others, they don't mind that others see it. They don't mind that others are around. They don't mind that conversations are heard. Right? This is about turning positivity in God's word from the lies in our truth. Desire is not always negative. It can be used for positive, good things. Passion is a good thing, and it can be good. It can be negative, but it can be good. And more importantly, when you're strong-willed for the Lord, when you stand up for yourself, when you seek truth and you find it and you share it with others, you're going to find yourself setting those boundaries and protecting who you are and what you stand for, because what you stand for goes beyond you. It is a will that has a strength that is anything but weak. Happy Sunday, chatting at Cheesman. Happy Sunday, y'all.